Hello Geneva, and welcome to Geneva Works. I'm your host Kevin Starr. It's hard to believe it, but winter is here. Here today to talk to us about snow removal is Street Superintendent Chris Bong.
Residents should move their cars off of the streets before it snows. In general, it's a 2-inch, when there's 2 inches of snow, they need to get their cars moved off of the street. That's 2 inches of snow for a snow route. And then they should get their cars off the street on all the other streets in town if there's 3 inches or more of snow. It's important to do this because we want to make sure that we can clear the streets completely from curb to curb. Another thing that could come up could be your car could become trapped by the windrow. If there's a lot of snow, it could be difficult to get your car out of the road. So it's important if you live on a snow route and you park your car on a snow route, 2 inches of snow. If you're any other road in town, it's 3 inches of snow. Get your car off the road. An emergency snow route are the highest volume roads in town, the main arterial roads through town. They're the most important roads for emergency vehicles, and basically those are the roads that we concentrate on the most at the very beginning of a storm. We have to make sure that those are clear for safety purposes. Geneva has a snowplow fleet of, we've got 12 larger vehicles, large snowplows. We have 10 smaller 1-ton trucks, and we also have 2 what we call sidewalk plowing tractors for the downtown area. In addition to that, we have a contractor that comes into town when we have 2 inches of snow or more, and he will plow we've got 26 downtown parking lots, and the contractor takes care of those. And just as some informational purposes, the city has 42 lane miles of snow routes. We've got about 200 lane miles of residential, or what we call secondary streets, and we have over 200 cul-de-sacs in town. The city's snow plowing strategy is, what we do is when the snow is coming down, we concentrate on the snow routes. And what we'll do is we will continue on those snow routes until basically they're looking what we call wet from curb to curb. We will continue on those snow routes until the snow has stopped. After that, after the snow is stopped, then what we will do is we will then move our concentration to the secondary residential streets and cul-de-sacs, and we'll start concentrating on those. So it can take many hours before we actually are able to break away from the snow routes and move over to the secondary streets. Public Works crews handle lighter snows in a little different way than we would handle a large snowstorm. Many times if we have a light snowstorm, we will we'll primarily concentrate on the snow routes, and we'll get those nice and wet and clear curb to curb. But there's a couple of factors involved here where we actually try to work with Mother Nature. And if we only have an inch of snow and it looks like we're going to have warmer temperatures, we may not do a whole lot of salting or plowing on any other streets. We may, typically what we'll do is we will just salt, if necessary, some of the hills in the residential streets, the curves in school zones. But definitely in that situation, if it's a flat residential street, we will not add salt or plow it if it's just a light amount of snow. Let Mother Nature run its course and take care of it for us. Not every street is salted during a snowstorm because many of the streets, such as flat residential streets, like I said, we let Mother Nature take its course if possible. But the other reason is that we will generally just plow those streets. It's very important to conserve our salt. As many communities realized this past winter, 2013, 2014, if we applied salt to every street in town, we would run out of salt very quickly. So we need to concentrate on just applying salt to the snow routes, to hills, to curves, school zones, stop sign intersections, but the rest of the residential streets do not get salt. The city will have enough salt this year, even though we had a difficult winter last year as far as the amount of salt that all communities used last year. We have a contract through the state with Cargill that we're actually starting to get deliveries now. And we've got a pretty good deal on the salt at $58 a ton, which actually is an excellent deal. And we're getting deliveries for 2,800 tons. We have the option to receive that much salt this year. Our salt barn is able to hold 2,000 tons, so that should last us throughout the whole winter. Yes, definitely during major storms, and we try to do it for as many storms as possible. The city posts updates on Facebook, Twitter, on the website. We've also got an info line. There is a email that an information email that you can subscribe to and get information in that way. The person that's responsible for shoveling sidewalks in town is a good question. In the downtown area, there is something called an SSA, it's SSA 1, and the city has two sidewalk plowing machines that plow the street, 3rd Street, State Street, a few blocks in each direction, and a couple other miscellaneous locations. Those are the only areas in town that city crews plow. Every other area in town, in front of residential homes, for example, is the responsibility of that individual homeowner. The best way to report a concern regarding snow or potholes or anything like that to the city, the ideal way is to go to the city's website and use our request program or tracker, where you can enter the request directly into the website. That is the best way to do it. It's the best way for us to follow up and get all the proper information. So, if you can't find your concern listed in the website, or if it's kind of a concern that's a little out of the ordinary, you can certainly give Public Works a call at 630-232-1502 and talk to any of us there, and we should be able to help you out. You can find more info regarding snow plowing operations by going to the city's website at www.geneva.il.us. You can give us a call at Geneva Public Works, 630-232-1502. You can stop by Geneva Public Works at 1800 South Street. Our hours there are 7 to 4 p.m. And that's probably the best way to get a hold of us.
That is all the time we have today for Geneva Works. As a reminder, you can find links to our social media accounts for Facebook and Twitter on our website at www.geneva.il.us. We'd like to thank Chris Bong for his time and insight into our snow plowing operations. We hope you found it helpful. We hope you tune in again next month to see how Geneva is working for you.